This is the 5th race of the 2010 ARLA Elite Series season, the BB Wolf's Memphis 150 at the Memphis Motorsports Park in Tennessee. Dale Underwood started on the pole. He's always been pretty fast at these short D-shaped ovals, and that's a good thing because he is out of the top 27 in points. And if you have to race your way in, it's always nice to do it at a track that you know you're going to be fast on. The first caution flew on lap 2. Louis Tellez back in that 58 car forces it 4 wide on Lucas Hunter, Lucas Sweeney, and Taylor Brillin. Coming into turn 1, the 8 and the 01 run into each other twice. The 01 gets turned into the 164 of Chris Johans, and they both go up into the air. A scary wreck on the second lap that really shouldn't have happened. Lucas Hunter is still recovering from his wreck in the rookie shootout in February. Luckily, he was okay. Dale Underwood continued to lead on the restart with Jack Lucas Sampson right behind him. He gets a very nice start over the 10. Here is Reed Weber Jr. in the number 165 Jaguar Racing entry with Henrietta Laverne III right in front of him. After the qualifier on Thursday, news broke that Weber and Laverne were in a relationship, and it quickly escalated into one of the biggest stories of the weekend, especially with Weber's teammate Shane Lake being so vocal against it. Karma would come back to bite Louis Tellez for his over-aggressive lap 2 move. His engine grenades on him coming down the front straightaway. As Tellez nurses his crippled car to the bottom, he holds Ricky Gonzalez up a bit. Back up front, Dale Underwood surrenders the lead to Harry Inola in the 159 with Kurt Walker in the 98 right behind him. Does this running order look familiar? It should. It's the order Harry Inola and Kurt Walker finished in at Loudon last week. In that race, Inola got his first win in 3 years, with Walker finishing second. On lap 30, engine problems are going to strike Allie Riggs in the 19. Her engine blows up on her as she's running in the midfield. Riggs has not had too much luck this season. Her only good showings have been at Daytona and Hattiesburg, and at Hattiesburg she actually got caught up in a wreck before rallying back to finish 10th. After a few laps, Kurt Walker decides that it'll be his turn to lead. Walker sweeps by Inola without a problem, and the 159 is going to slip back in line in front of Dale Underwood. However, several laps later, Inola gets tired of running in second and has no problem taking the lead back from Walker. There is Chris Johans in the 164 back out on the track after going up in the air on lap 2. As Bigsby Foot's 14 team was preparing for the qualifier, there was a huge mechanical problem with the car, and they had to miss it. But instead of packing up and heading home, they bought Toby Armstrong's spot on the grid. Now, before any of you get upset over Foot buying his way into the race, keep in mind that Armstrong's 54 car is a start and park operation. Which would you rather see, Armstrong pull in during the pace laps or Foot running the full race? Jack Lucas Sampson in the 10 restarted in second, but he has now dropped like a rock all the way to 26th. The handling suddenly went away on that 10 car, and this track has been tough to pass on during the week, so he's going to have a tough time getting back to the front. Here is Shane Lake in the 155, who, like his teammate Reed Weber Jr., is making his second start of the season. He's actually riding behind Weber at the moment. It is heavily rumored that Lake will sponsor Weber's 165 car with his restaurant, Dogfather's Bar and Grill, starting with Talladega. A bit further up the field, we have James West, who dominated the qualifying race. However, he doesn't exactly have much to show for it at the moment, running midfield. Cody Richards in the 53, running a part-time schedule this year, made his first race at Hattiesburg. He did a fantastic job there, running up front all day, and now he is running up in the top 10. Back up front, Harry Inola has been pretty much untouchable in these past several laps. He's really been making the most out of this opportunity with Riggs Motorsports, despite failing to qualify for the first 2 races. If you look behind Kurt Walker, you're going to see Cody Richards and Kevin Monroe battling for the 3rd spot. Here is Jeb Klinger back in the 66 car this week. At the Hattiesburg race, he seemed to lose focus and spin 2 cars out during the same caution period. One of those cars being his teammate, Brenda Riggs, who is actually running behind Klinger at the moment. M&J Racing pulled Klinger out of the car for Loudon and made him undergo some medical tests. However, he didn't seem to have any health problems, so they gave him the car back. Keep in mind that Klinger is 75 years old. The Phantom Engine Killer's next victim would be Leigh Gruel in the 46. Gruel blows up coming off of 4 after a very solid run from him so far. Back up front and approaching green flag pit stops, Kurt Walker sweeps by Harry Inola in the 159 to take the lead once more. On lap 81, Walker, Inola, and Richards dove onto pit road to make their stops, but that's when the second caution flew. Jack Lucas Sampson and Milano Rossini hit pit road, but Sampson is going to run the turn a little wide. He hits the tire barrier and bounces back up into Packer Carroll in the 71, taking both cars into the wall. This would be Carroll's second DNF in a row. He has been involved in incidents in every race so far, yet he still managed to remain in the top 15 coming into this race. Arianola led on the restart, but he was in the middle of the pack when the race restarted. All of those cars in front of him are on the tail end of the lead lap. Ricky Gonzalez almost becomes Enola's first victim, but he gets a pretty nice run coming off of turn 2. Here is Namimura in the 39 running in second place. She dominated at Loudon last week, building up a 24-second lead before her engine blew up, and now she's trying to redeem herself. There's her team owner, Kurt Walker, running in third, putting Chris Johans a lap down. After the restart, Cody Richards got shuffled back through the field a little bit. Right in front of Richards, you see Jafali Anamija and Henrietta Laverne III have worked their way up into the top 10. Milano Rossini with the 56 is a lap down. Add one more to the unusually high number of blown engines today. Alex Carson blows up in front of Harry Enola as Enola is about to put him a lap down. Carson stacks up the field, allowing Namimura to catch right up to the 159, and if anybody thought that Carson would be the last driver to blow an engine today, well, they were wrong. Jack Lucas Sampson blows his engine a short time later, going into turn 1. Thankfully, Sampson would be the last driver to blow up. It looks like a lot of engine builders are going to be looking for work after today. Back up front, Leslie Riggs has worked her way past Namimura for second, and now she wants the lead from her teammate, Harry Enola. Riggs has not started her 2010 campaign very well. She's been involved in wrecks in every race so far. Riggs is also running in the TM Junior Series this season, and she's not done much better over there. Harry Enola would fight back, wrestling second away from Sarah Haxon in the 3, who's done a great job so far today. But here comes Cody Richards in the 53 to spoil Enola's fun. He quickly dispatches the 159, and coming off the 2, he is almost right on Riggs' bumper. And then a few laps later, Richards gets a run on Riggs and takes the lead once again. Here's Jafali Anamija in the 139 doing a fantastic job for MSB Motorsports. He's not had much luck in these past couple of races, but he's certainly turning that around today. A few laps later, Leslie Riggs decides that she wants the lead back from Cody Richards. She gets a run on him going into turn 3 and takes the lead without a problem. But Richards decides to tell Riggs to wait just a little longer to pass him, preferably after the race, of course. Sarah Haxon in 3 has worked her way back up to third, but she's about to lose it after she decides to rough up Leslie Riggs going into turn 1. She skates up the track and loses positions to Jafali Anamija and Harry Enola. Officials called Haxon to the hauler for this little maneuver. Leslie Riggs didn't seem to be rattled. She gets a run on Cody Richards and takes the lead coming through turn 1. Jafali Anamija in the 139 then looks to take advantage. Anamija successfully took second from Cody Richards, putting himself in position to win the race in just his, I believe, 3rd start. But his parade was rained on by Harry Enola, looking to take his 2nd straight win. Loudon must have been a huge confidence booster for him, seeing as he was pretty much only good for running midfield these past 3 years. But with just a few laps to go, Cody Richards chased down and passed Enola for the 2nd spot, but Richards ran out of time, and Leslie Riggs, after getting into wrecks in every single race this year, cruised on to the victory. And for your top 5 finishers, another fantastic run for Cody Richards in the 53. Keep in mind he has no sponsor and he's going part-time this year. Harry Enola with his 3rd place finish should be locked into that top 27 coming out of this race. Jeb Klinger finishes 4th, his 2nd top 5 of the year. Who knows, maybe he's got some wins left in him. And Namimura, after her heartbreaking engine failure at Loudon, finishes 5th. And now for your top 5 in points, Bobby Porteau takes the lead with 389 points. Jason Bates moves up to 2nd, 9 points back. Scott Morales had a dismal finish today, so he dropped to 3rd. Kevin Monroe runs 4th, and Andy Pearson in 5th.